The first step to affording luxury travel isn't glamorous. It's about understanding where your money goes. I was deep in debt, but I had a dream, visiting places like Paris, the Maldives, and Santorini. To make that happen, I had to take control of my financial situation, and this is how I did it. I started by confronting the full scale of my debt. I wrote down every single debt I owed: credit cards, personal loans, everything. Seeing that number on paper was terrifying, but it was necessary. You can't fix what you don't acknowledge. Knowing my starting point was crucial for me to start moving forward. Next, I created a simple but detailed budget. I listed all my income sources and broke down every expense, even the smallest ones. What I discovered was eye-opening. I was spending more money on dining out, subscription services, and spontaneous online shopping than I realized. Each of these things seemed insignificant on its own, but together, they were a big part of why I couldn't get ahead. Once I had a clear picture of where my money was going, I made a plan. First, I started cutting out unnecessary expenses. Eating out became a rare treat instead of a regular occurrence. Subscription services I wasn't using, canceled. I even negotiated my phone and internet bills, which saved me more than I expected. By cutting back on the small things, I freed up more money to put toward my debt. But I didn't stop there. I also automated my savings. Even though I could only save a small amount at first, $50 per month, I set it up to be automatically transferred to a separate savings account. That way, I wasn't tempted to spend it. It felt good to see that money slowly build over time, and I started calling it my luxury vacation fund. Just thinking of the trips I could take one day kept me motivated. Paying off my debt wasn't easy, but I found a strategy that worked for me: the Snowball method. This is where you focus on paying off your smallest debt first, while making minimum payments on the rest. Once the smallest debt is gone, you move on to the next smallest, and so on. Each time I knocked out a debt, it felt like a victory, and that momentum kept me going. During this time, I also looked for ways to increase my income. I started picking up extra freelance work in the evenings and on weekends. It wasn't much, but every little bit helped. The extra money went straight toward my debt and savings, and over time, I started to see real progress. As my debts shrank, I felt lighter, more in control, and after months of hard work, I finally paid off my last debt. It was an incredible feeling. For the first time in years, I was debt-free, but the journey didn't stop there. With no more debt to worry about, I could start focusing on my real goal: luxury travel. I continued automating my savings, but now I was saving much more. Every time I saw a deal on a flight or hotel, I knew I had the money set aside to take advantage of it. My first big trip was to Paris, and the experience was everything I had dreamed of. It felt even better knowing that I had earned it by taking control of my finances. Over time, I was able to afford more and more of the things I'd always wanted: luxury vacations, fine dining experiences, even upgrading my living space. But none of it would have been possible if I hadn't first paid off my debt and learned to manage my money wisely. So, if you're struggling with debt, don't lose hope. It's possible to turn things around and start living the life you want. It won't happen overnight, and it won't always be easy. But with discipline and a clear plan, you can go from drowning in debt to affording the luxuries you've always dreamed of. If you want to see more content, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you want me to cover next on the Debt-Free Diary.